Hi, I'm Femi OK.
And I'm Malika Bilal, and you're in the stream.
Today, Polish women on strike. Poland has one of the most restrictive abortion laws in Europe, but a new controversial bill could further tighten existing regulations in the country.
We'll speak to those working to push this bill into law and talk with those protesting it in the streets. Take a look.
Hello, my name is Marta Lempart. I'm from Poland. We just had a huge demonstration here, over 30,000 people in just one city, because we have a national women's strike, because our parliament wants to ban abortion in Poland, totally. It's called Black Monday and we're on strike, and I am in the stream.
Poland's current law, which passed in 1993, bans abortions except in the cases of rape or incest, if the mother's life is in danger or if there are fetal defects. With the backing of the Roman Catholic Church, the ruling Conservative Law and Justice Party, known as PIS, wants to pass a new law that would only allow for pregnancy terminations if the mother's life is at risk. Now, if the bill passes, women could face up to 5 years in prison for having an abortion. It would also increase the maximum jail sentence for doctors involved in the procedure from 2 to 5 years. Now, protesters against the law are divided. Many are fighting to keep Poland's existing law in place, while others are calling to liberalise legislation that they say violates women's reproductive rights. Malika has more.
Well, since the introduction of the bill late last month, Poles from all sides of the debate have been mobilizing on and offline. On Monday, dressed in black, pro-abortion rights activists didn't go to work or school in protest against the draft legislation. They've garnered international support from the diaspora, while other countries fighting similar battles expressed solidarity. Now, on the other side are supporters of the Stop Abortion Coalition, the group who helped introduce the bill in Parliament. They too have been very active in spreading their message with the hashtag #StopAborg. Now, if you're watching in Poland, we want to know what you think about this issue. Tweet us using hashtag AJStream.
To help us get into what impact this bill could have if passed, we're joined by Justyna Samolinska. She's an activist and member of the Razem political party. Karina Walanowicz is a lawyer at the Ordo Luris Institute for Legal Culture. Anna Karaszewska is a social activist and the vice chairwoman of the Polish Women of Congress. And Salome Irene van der Wendy, she's the spokesperson for the Foundation Pro Right to Life. Good to have you here, everybody. Let me show you something here, Anna. This is in Warsaw on my laptop. It looks like there's not a single space in the street for anyone to stand. This protest looks huge from this vantage point here. When you see that, when you see people gathering in the street in Poland, what is that telling you?
First of all, it's the first protest like that in Poland since the abortion ban has been implemented at the beginning of 90s. And it demonstrates that hundreds of thousands of Polish women, not only in Warsaw, but also in small cities in all over Poland, went out to demonstrate their anger. They're furious about such brutal policy which current government has against women. And it's not only about abortion, it's definitely about freedom of women and the way how the government wants to treat women, because we know that the right to abortion also mirrors what is the position of women in a society, whether we treat women as an entity or the women
so many
are
lies.
treated
I would like
instrumentally.
to say something about
I
this.
only want to, if you let me, I only want to add one important thing to put our discussion in a right picture. In Poland, since last year, we have fundamental Catholics who are in power, and it dramatically has changed the entire situation in Poland.
Look,
and the government,
Anna, because we're having a conversation, Anna.
Yeah,
because we're having a conversation. Allow Karina to come in. Karina, go ahead.
Yes. So first of all, that was a perfect example of lies we can hear all the time in a public debate that was spreading all the time, country broad, and run and drives people to public hysteria, what we see right now. It's like none of those things are true. First of all, the initiative Stop Aborcji is the citizens' initiative. Almost 500,000 of citizens signed this bill, this proposal of this bill, right? And every year, and this year especially, in 140 cities in Poland, there were marches of families, of women, of children, pro-life. So you cannot
Sorry,
say
it's only,
that
you know, sorry,
I'm sorry,
no,
but there's one thing.
let
me
it's
say
only,
no.
no,
Karina and
it's
Anna,
not the truth.
Karina and Anna, let's just hear a fresh voice come into this mix.
Yeah.
So
I wanted.
Justina, go ahead.
Just wanted. Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to say that there was it's just 11% of Polish people says that they want more strict law about abortion.
Well,
so
I don't know what kind
I'm
of
sorry.
data you have and what kind of poll you're
The last
saying
one.
now, because
No,
we have
and
some
but what is very important, no, sorry, what is very important, it's not the entire truth about this civic initiative, because we know very well, and we have a proof, then
Well, you said
the
that's
signature
what's not important, the entire truth.
had been
So
no, the
ladies,
signature
Anna, Karina,
had
Justina,
been-
Salome, I hear your passion. I'm going to help you I'm just going to help moderate a little bit more here, because no one will hear what you're saying.
Okay.
And what you're saying is important.
heard the
Just
truth
take a pause for a moment, ladies. I'm going to have to do this and be quite disciplined about this, so we can hear other views as well. Malika, go ahead.
So here are a few more that might start the arguing back up again, but this is one person who references really what you said, Justina. You mentioned 11% in one of the latest polls, only 11% of supporting stricter laws. This is someone who's tweeting us from southeastern Poland. He says, Poles want to defend the lives of children. Pro-choice supporters are definitely the minority. The current government gives us hope that we'll have good, just, and civil laws. So he's someone who does want stricter laws. On the other hand, though, this is Natalia, and she puts this into perspective. She says, the current abortion law is not a perfect solution, but women can make a choice. Changes would deprive them of this basic human right. Can you lay it out for us as you see it, Justina, on what this new proposed law would do?
This new barbaric law that was written by Ordo Juris and by the organization that our friend here is coming from is going to make, for example, 12-year-old girls to have babies even if they were raped by the members of their families. This bill is going to make women have children even if they don't have brains or have only part of their brains and are going to die a few days after giving they are born.
Not
and
true.
No, it is true, and this is making women who had miscarriages.
So let's do some fact checking here, Justina. Justina, let's do some fact checking. Was there one more thing that you wanted to mention?
Excuse me, once again.
Let's do some fact checking here, because Karina was involved in writing this bill. So, is it possible that 12-year-old girls, Karina, could actually have to go full term with their pregnancy under this new bill if it's passed?
First of all, I would like to emphasize that the main reason.
So, Karina, let's do some fact checking, because at least one person, at least Justina, could go away from this a little bit more enlightened. Is it possible, if this bill passes, a 12-year-old girl would be made to go full term with her pregnancy? Yes or no?
Yes, it's possible.
It's possible. Okay. Is it possible that somebody who was raped and then becomes pregnant, they would then be made to have their baby?
I would like to emphasize something, that we are speaking about unborn children. Okay. Also, we cannot see just a woman, because there is also another girl or another boy that is going to be born.
It's a demagogy, ultra-Catholic.
So we're going to take turns, ladies. We're going to take turns. Karina, Karina, make your point. Anna, hold tight for a moment. Karina, go ahead. Just make a point and be brief.
My point is that the legal recognition should go and legal protection should go as well for the mother and for her child, whether he's girl or a boy, right? Because let's remember about all the girls and boys that are not unborn, and that the stop abortion is giving the women the real choice, because what you're trying to say and you're trying to offer is abortion that is not a choice. Have you ever, for example, think about informing women about the abortion and the risk that abortion gives the women?
Have you ever?
Okay, so Karina, thank you for that. Ladies, because you're all talking at the same time, I'm going to be quite firm about this. Karina, thank you for that point. Anna, what is your rebuttal? Go ahead.
First of all, you know, the Ordo Iuris organization, who actually is the author of this bill, which is really shocking because some organization placed in Netherlands.
It was a citizens' initiative. It wasn't the
Yeah,
church.
no, but it's the draft has been.
Karina, hold tight for a moment. We've heard from you. Anna, go ahead. Salome, you will be next.
Yeah.
Hold tight, everybody. We cannot hear what you're talking about. You really care about it. We can't hear a single word. Anna, make a brief point. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this draft bill written by the international organization, international lawyers, has certain manipulation. First of all, it offers the equal rights between women and fetus, and they call a fetus or embryo the unborn child, which you see, this is the full of influencing ultra-Catholic,
is just a phase in your life.
Catholic.
Ladies, take a pause. I'm going to bring in Malika here. Take a pause for a moment.
Just I want to end this, that this is the entire picture, that the current government is supported by Catholic fanatics and ultra-conservatives who manipulate and use a lot of demagogy. For example, naming.
All right, ladies, give me a moment here. Karina, Anna, Salome, Justina, hold tight for a moment. Take a pause for a moment. Everybody's going to switch off. Our opportunity to tell the world what is happening in Poland with pro-abortion rights, anti-abortion rights, we're wasting it. You're wasting it. Hold tight for a moment. Malika.
So this is an insight from Magda. These are her concerns. She says that this bill will affect not just access to abortion, also contraception, sexual education, and prenatal care. Miscarriages would then be or could be investigated. Another person picks up on that. This is a video comment we got from Paulina. Salome, I'm going to direct this to you. Have a listen to her.
It's very easy to come to the Catholic country and say that the bill is about abortion, and then everybody is saying, whoa, we are so much against. It is not about abortion only. This is about reproductive rights. We are talking about the conceptive education, sexual education at school, the morning after pill, the prenatal health. Not to mention, next to this bill, there is a bill about excluding the possibility of in vitro in Poland. This is what happened.
So can you explain, and this argument here is without the access to abortion and without sexual education, some women are stuck in a bind?
I wanted to, the one thing that the lady said, I'm sorry.
Salome, we haven't heard from her yet, so I want to give her the floor. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Hi. I would like to add that there's been a survey recently in the last 2 months by Ordo Iuris, which showed that 68% of women in Poland do want this new bill, and even with the youth, it's much higher, aged 18 to 24, it's about 80% of the youth want to do this. Why do they do this? That's because for the last 11 years, our organization has been showing pictures of what happens to the victims of abortion, the babies, how their arms and legs are ripped off, their head, their brains.
Salome, what is your right? What is your right to speak on behalf of Polish women? You represent international organization Ordo Iuris place in Netherlands. How you can speak on behalf of Polish women and propose some solutions to the Polish law? This is shocking. This is really shocking. And I would like to warn.
All right, so let Salome answer that. Anna, give Salome a moment. Karina, allow Salome to answer that. Salome, go ahead.
Okay, so I work for the same organization, and I wanted to add that this is a citizens' initiative. It's not a government issue that's been put forward. It's not being put forward by the church, and it's people on the street. It's signatures have been collected on the street in Krakow, like 14 different cities.
You are not telling true. You are not telling true.
I just want to say one thing.
One at a time. Hold tight for a moment. Come back here to my laptop. We were just looking at where in the world there are abortion rights in terms of a woman being able to have an abortion. So we looked here in Western Europe. Anywhere where you see green is unrestricted abortions. And then when you see the orange here, this is where Poland is here, and you can have an abortion currently if it is to preserve your health. You know, a couple of other instances, either if you were illegally became pregnant, so incest, or perhaps rape, and then also if the baby is extremely deformed or very, very sick. What is wrong, Karina, because you were involved in drafting this new bill, what is wrong with the current status quo in Poland?
Okay, thank you. So it's very important to emphasize that at the moment, children in their prenatal stage of life are not protected in the law. So we would like to finish this discrimination, and we would like to equal treatment for all of them. For
How
all
you
children,
can offer equal
and
treatment
after
between
birth.
woman
Yes.
and a fetus? Is that demagogy? Even
There's
the Catholic
Polish
Church,
Constitution-
even Catholic
Polish
Church
Constitution
didn't recognize
Anna.
this term
No,
as an
Anna.
abortion up
Our
to 50s.
Constitution
It's
protects
unbelievable.
Anna, give me a moment.
Yeah,
that.
it's
We know
unbelievable.
that our Constitution protects also you when you were
No.
a child.
All right.
And the unborn.
So
Sorry,
It's terrible. It's really
All right, so if you're joining us right now here on the stream,
It's
you're
terrible.
hearing the
It's
debate, a classic debate between pro-abortion rights, anti-abortion
I
rights.
just-
Let me just move things forward a little bit. Hold tight, ladies. You just shouted at us for a worry 15 minutes into the programme. Let's see if we can get a little bit of clarity. If this bill turns into legislation, Justina, from your perspective, everybody else hold tight, I'm just interested in Justina's perspective, what could the impact be? If I hear more than Justina, I'll be upset. Justina, go ahead.
Yeah, there is a lot of talking about life and about dignity by the authors of this bill are talking about it, but it's really against the life and against the dignity of half of the Polish population. For example, it was we were talking about miscarriages.
The dignity of babies.
Yeah. And no, it is about against the life and dignity of women and of the families.
Of babies.
For example, the movement, the pro-life
and
movement that you were talking about, it made a demonstration near the hospital showing this what you called unborn children. Really, this is not
You started that way as well.
It's not about abortion. This pictures, these bloody pictures that you are showing are miscarriage
The reality of what happens behind closed doors, and it's time it's seen.
All right, Justina, I hear you. I know it was impossible almost. It was wishful thinking on my part that I would only hear your voice and your perspective. But it is an important conversation. Malika, where do you want to take us?
This is a question. I will direct this to you, Karina. This is a video comment we got from someone named Jarek. So if this bill passes, he has some questions for how women will move forward. Have a listen.
Going to offer women support when they have to bury the baby of a rapist or a baby of their father or a baby that is going to eventually die whilst they're giving birth to it. Who is going to support them during the whole pregnancy, and what type of psychological and economic support is going to be provided for these women? Because I believe that there is a lot of mental baggage that comes with forcing women to give birth to a baby that is going to be the baby of their rapist as well.
So Karina, what kind of support will be offered or is offered now?
Question. Yes, thank you. It's an excellent question. I'm very pleased to answer it. It's like we need to know that Stop Abortion, the project of the bill, Citizens Project of the bill, offers also and obligates, ensures that the public administration will ensure families and mothers who are whose pregnancy is in troublesome pregnancy, and in this time in their life, and after the birth of their child.
I need to
refer
to this.
Amendments.
Anna, allow Karina to finish her sentence. Karina, finish your sentence.
Yes, we would like to give the choice for the women. That's why we would like our government to help them and when they are in a difficult situation in their life. And this bill ensures that.
Okay.
I would like to add
may I
something.
refer to this?
Anna, go ahead.
No,
Salome, hold tight for a moment. Yes, Anna.
Sorry. I would like to refer to this. This is only written in a paper, but it's not true. It's only a hypocrisy to show that there is some.
So Malika, did you actually get an answer to your question?
The reality
I think she's answering it now.
The current government, in a budget draft for 2017, just cut down the financial aid for mothers who take care of disabled children or children which have a severe problem. So,
ladies, hold tight for a moment. Just give me a moment. Let me just check in with my colleague Malika. Malika, what are people making of this? It's nobody's been able to make a point without a counterpoint. I'm not sure any of our guests are listening to each other. What are you hearing online?
Something similar. You have people on the one hand who say this is killing babies.
Right.
On the other hand, you have people saying there are too many repercussions that women are going to have to face. Here's one perspective.
I would like to add
this person, let me read this tweet first. This person tweets in that there are some 3,800 doctors who've signed a conscience clause that allows them to refuse abortion based on their beliefs. What situation is this creating for both doctors or for people who doctors are really their only options if they don't want to do back alley dangerous abortions?
It's important that people may live in accordance with their conscience. And I would like to add that if I was conceived in violence myself, and I would really much rather be alive now than in the rubbish bin, which is where politicians and governments with stroke of a pen.
Except, of course, you wouldn't know if you were in the rubbish bin, right?
I still have a right to life. There are many treaties and conventions that have been made about children's rights, which say that children have a right to life before and after birth, and that if decisions are made regarding the child, that they are to be made in the preference of the child's best
I wanted to
interest.
say something
And
about
it's in my best interest to be
abortion
alive.
providers in Poland.
And it also is
because
not in
that's
my
what
best
the
interest
post
that
was
I
about.
I hear the point that you're making. Let me just hear you, how Justina, go ahead.
Yeah, it's about the situations that are happening now in Poland. And then even if, for example, there are some lethal damages to the fetus, women are refused abortion. And there was a situation, I think it was last year, when a woman was refused abortion and she had to give birth to a very, very unhealthy baby who died a few days after this. And none of those ladies came to the hospital to grieve with the mother, and she was writing about it that none of those pro-life organization is about to help women that are in the situation like this. They were only about praising the doctor that refused her an abortion and saying that he was the hero and that she was a bad woman because she didn't want to give birth to the baby who was only suffering.
At least this woman does not
Anything
back
that
to
happened
Justina.
in its life was only
Thank you for sharing that story with me. Ladies, give me a moment here. I'm just curious about Karina here. Karina, you were involved in the writing of this bill. Are you surprised by the reaction to it?
Well, on the one hand, yes, I'm surprised because I never thought that people can lie each other that gravely as we can see it right now, and that there are women who actually are willing to kill their babies and trying to also manipulate others and try.
So you hear Karina, Justina, and Anna Salome. We are taking this conversation online. I hope to get a little bit more clarity, but I know you can hear that back and forth between two very distinctive, passionate viewpoints. Malika.
It's the last word from Her Story Diary, who says, it is worth noting that the women's movement has been reborn in Poland because of this.
No doubt that will start a huge debate as well. You know where to go to be part of that. Stream.aljazeera.com. See you online. Thanks for watching. Hello again, I'm Femi OK. This is the Streams Online Post Show. We're talking about what impact a new abortion bill could have if it's passed in Poland. Ladies, I want to get your individual takes. I hear where you're debating with each other. I do not want this to be a debate with each other. I just care about what each of you have to say about what you think might happen next. Salome, what do you think might happen next? Here we are with the bill. It's not legislation yet. Maybe it won't be, maybe it will be. What are your thoughts?
This coming week, it's going to be going to the Commission of Justice and Human Rights, and I pray that they will uphold the treaties in which a child has a right to life, a right to protection before as well as after life, after birth. Ah. And I think it's important that we actually treat our children with dignity. They're actually our own children, fetus or embryo.
I was just asking what you thought might happen next. So your thoughts are you're praying that it will pass. Anna, your thoughts for what might happen next?
On one hand, it's great that we see the rising consciousness of men and women who are against such brutal and barbarian government policy. But on one hand, I think that right now, you know, the fundamental Catholics and ultra-conservative groups representing by Ordo Iuris will put a lot of pressure on the Polish government. And we know that these signatures of the civic bill were collected with the help of church and with the help of Law and Justice Party. So they put a lot of pressure on the Polish government
and on the streets.
All right, Anna, I'm moving on.
Salome,
Karina, Anna, I'm moving on. Salome, I'm moving on. Thank you for your thought about what might happen next. Karina, is your bill going to be a law? What do you think?
Well, we hope that it will pass because it's the will of our citizens, the majority, vast majority of citizens. And then finally, women will have their choice to make and could have their babies they want to have, and the children will be protected under the law before and after birth.
Karina, thanks for being part of this program. Justina, just your final thoughts on where to next. What do you think might happen? The protests, this was the Black Protest Day. Now what?
I think that we have just seen birth of the feminist movement in Poland, the mass movement, and in the latest polls, the 37% of Polish people wants this abortion rights that are now in Poland off. They want to have women to have a right to abortion, and I'm sure that this government will have to start to feel threatened by the society that doesn't want this bill and doesn't want the law that is now in Poland.
It's going to be fascinating following the Polish news. Anna and Salome and Karina and Justina, I'm wrapping up because you add something, then 3 other people add something, and then 1 hour later we're still adding something. Thank you for your perspectives. The only person who can add something is Malika. Go ahead.
I'll add 2 things. This is Eugene. On one side of this debate, he says current abortion legislation by Poland's government is consistent with religious and moral human values. Life matters. On the other side of that debate, someone who was at the protests on Monday, she says, I didn't go to the protests today to be able to abort a baby. To be honest, I'd love to have a baby and abort my government.
Thank you very much, everybody, for being part of this conversation. Really appreciate your time. Take care, everybody.